Welcome to Advanced Data Analysis 2 with me, Erik Erhardt, Professor of Statistics at the University of New Mexico. In this video, I will welcome you to the course and we'll cover the topics on the course website. So I'll make this a little bit bigger since we don't really need all that heading information from the browser. On my website, Stat Acumen, the link under Teaching is ADA2. Clicking here will bring you to the current semester, though previous semesters are also available, but don't bother looking at them. In the table of contents, it is clickable, and clicking on the timetable will bring you to where all the assignments are throughout the semester. That will be the most useful link to you from the top of the web page. We are remote arranged this semester, which basically means it's going to be like last semester, where we have all assignments, all the lectures and quizzes and assignments are online. There is a schedule, but we never meet face-to-face, and we never meet synchronously at the same time. Office hours will be via Zoom. Before class, make sure that you have done what I call step 0. Make sure that R is installed and RStudio is installed. There's a video to help you with that if you need it. It is also a good time of year to upgrade R. And so if I click on this link, it'll bring me to the FAQ page for the R project, and it does tell you here, let's make sure, what is the best way to upgrade. At least on Windows, I know that you can uninstall the package, install the new version, and then run this command after you copy the library folder over. And that's probably the best way to do it. But this is a good time of year to upgrade. If you haven't already installed all the R packages that you need for the course, that is at this link, and you basically just copy all the text here from the top to the bottom, of which there's a bunch, and that will install the packages. Also, please do these two things. Disable notebooks and make your computer a little more friendlier for programming. So click on each of these and follow those instructions. All right, our goal this semester is to expand on what we started doing last semester. So we're going to continue using Markdown and knitr to make beautiful reports, using ggplot for plotting, and making tables and writing code in R, using the tidyverse syntax for data manipulation. And we're going to work on multiple regression, analysis of covariance, which is also multiple regression, logistic regression, it will be multiple logistic regression, and multivariate methods like principal component analysis, clustering, and classification. And typically we would present a poster. We would present our results of a project with a poster session, but not during this year. All right. Each week follows the same schedule as last year. We're going to, by Tuesday, I expect you to have read and watched a video for the current chapter or chapters, or part of a chapter, and then complete a quiz based on that content. And that's due by the end of day Tuesday. And I'm setting your expectations to finish these by 11:50. Now I think that end of day for UNM Learn is actually 11:59 p.m. But if your computer's clock does not match the clock of the UNM Learn server, you may think that you're clicking submit on time, but you may be late. So try to not wait to the last minute for these assignments. What I'm going to call the Tuesday assignment will effectively start on Tuesday, but is due 3 days later, Friday end of day. And then what I'm calling the Thursday assignment is something that I would sort of expect you to start on Thursday and complete by the following Monday. That leaves you Tuesday to work on the reading, video, and quiz for the next week's work. Typically, the Tuesday assignment is going to be sort of a warm-up or sort of a simple version, based on the reading and video that you of the content that you learned, and Thursday will be a harder version of that. So you'll get sort of two opportunities to engage with data sets and the material. I've included 3 links here, one to just get to the course on UNM Learn from here. I'm probably not logged in, but anyway, I'll come back to this in a second. I'll just do it right now. Interesting. Anyway, y'all know how to do this. Log into UNM Learn. Lectures, these are the video lectures that you should be reviewing. That's this part of for the content. And then this second YouTube playlist is for the assignments. So just like I did last semester, is I walked you through each assignment. And you will find that I'm quite generous in these walkthroughs. And in fact, if you watch them and follow along, writing your own code and writing the results and so on, I basically give you the answers to most of the assignments. And that part of that is that I don't care too much about whether I give answers or not. What I do care about is that you meaningfully engage with the material and that you're learning it, and that you feel like you've got, at the end of this, an understanding of the methods and a code base, meaning a set of coded examples, that you can then apply to your own work later in your life. So that's my goal for this. Also, we are in an online version of this course, and unlike, in a typical year, me or I and teaching assistants and peer learning facilitators and other helpers would be wandering around a classroom where you're doing the assignments in class, and we'd be looking over your shoulders and we'd be answering questions. That's way harder to do online, as you know, and so I'm trying to help you get all the help that you need right up front. So I recommend with each assignment watching this video and working along through with that assignment video to get the help that you need. All right, the rest of the website's going to go pretty quickly, I hope. Let me make this a little bigger again. Okay, we can make it up to there. So there is a section here for all the course notes. For each chapter, there's a PDF file, which during the video might be good to open up so you can use it there. All the R code for each video is located in its own file. So you could actually open this R file and copy and paste this into, or lines of it, into RStudio as you go along to verify that, to see yourself run that code. And maybe you actually, run this code and you modify a part of it just to experiment and learn from it. Okay. The data sets are there for each chapter, and there's here's another version of the playlist. The playlist is linked here for the video lectures, and then for each part of those are also all linked here. So that's for all the chapters. We'll cover almost all of these chapters. Just sort of a high-level overview. The first chapter is basically just a warm-up. It's a reminder of what we did last semester. Okay, so it's ADA2 in 1 week. Then we get into multiple linear regression and model selection. Multiple linear regression means that instead of a regression where you've got y is a function of one x predictor variable, now we're going to put multiple x's on the right-hand side of the equation. And how does the response y relate to many x's? When you've got many x's, you might then want to do model selection. Maybe we don't need all those x's. Maybe we've got 5 x variables, and really we only need 3 of them. Then there's types of experimental designs, and we discuss those in a couple chapters. We talk about observational studies. That's a really short chapter. And then the real meat of the first half of the course is chapter 7, the analysis of covariance. This is where you've got x variables that are both factor variables and numeric variables, so that you sort of can have multiple regression lines, one for each group that you get. So if you really understand, if you get to chapter 7, you really understand chapter 7, you have gotten a lot out of this course, and that's going to make you a really powerful practicing statistician if you're good at chapter 7. Then we've got polynomial regression. That's sort of, instead of fitting straight lines, you can fit quadratic polynomials, quadratic, cubic polynomials. Chapter 9, I sort of some more examples of stuff from chapter 7. Model selection, and that's sort of the end of all the multiple regression stuff. Then we look at logistic regression. We have a binary response variable, and then we get into multivariate methods. So principal component analysis, clustering, MANOVA, the multivariate analysis of variance. And then we look at discriminant analysis. That's sort of a form of classification. Can we use a bunch of numeric variables to help you predict which category an observation belongs into? And I generalize that into a classification chapter. We will not cover data cleaning. I think it's a really important topic, and as a practicing statistician, you will spend a lot of your time cleaning data, but it's sort of going to be beyond the scope of this class this semester. Here is a set of functions. You should download this into your ADA2 folder, wherever you're keeping all your data and assignments on your computer, because lots of the code will depend on the functions in this script. And then this is the timetable. It looks similar to last year. I'll just cover a couple features in this and then skip beyond it. So before the class starts, install some software. This link is to the video that you're watching right now. Each week has 2 days, sort of a Tuesday date and a Thursday date. In the Tuesday date, or the way this is going to work is basically each week we're going to cover a chapter, more or less. We're going to tell you what you need to read, and so this chapter 1, you're going to have to sort of look above at the. If I page up for a moment, that's chapter 1. That's this PDF file, the R code, and the data sets, and those are the videos. I'll make another comment here that I recorded these videos in spring 2016. I have changed the. I think I've changed the code in the notes to follow tidyverse syntax. So you'll find some syntax is a little bit different in the notes than what appears in the videos. And I hope that you'll forgive me that we're going to live with that small discrepancy. The key ideas are not different. These are links to the videos to watch, and then this says which quiz to complete. And so this is quiz number 1, and it will have a title similar to the chapter on UNM Learn. So you'll go to UNM Learn in order to complete this quiz. And this says the due date for the quiz. Now the first week I'm giving you more time. Typically this would be due on Tuesday. I'm giving you a break because we start class on Tuesday. So you get until the following Monday to do this. Then there's the Tuesday assignment, the RMarkdown file, which you should download to your computers here, and the data file you should download to your computers here. And when you knit that document, you should get the HTML file that appears here. It says what the title of that assignment is for when you turn it in. These are the helper videos that go along with that assignment, and this is the due date for that assignment on UNM Learn. In this first week, we're just going to continue that first assignment. I'm going to give you a bunch of time to do this assignment. The first week is usually just chaos in everyone's lives, and I'm not going to try to add additional stress to that. In the second week, this is going to be more standard. Here's a chapter. You read that chapter, watch the videos, do the quiz by Tuesday. Then the Tuesday assignment, download the RMarkdown, the data, compile it, make sure it looks like the HTML. I will be recording videos and posting them in these links. Those are the helper videos. And so these videos over here help you for, those are the lecture videos for the content. The videos on the right-hand side are the helper videos for the assignment. And then on Thursday, there's another assignment, the new assignment, new video, and then this Thursday assignment is due on Monday. And that's sort of how it looks through the full semester. All right. At the bottom, I put the syllabus because you don't need to refer to the syllabus every day. So I put it at the bottom. Anyway, we're going to learn a bunch of stuff. Please include ADA2 in the subject lines of all your emails. That helps emails filter into my inbox. I'm still working out the teaching assistants and the peer learning facilitators, but I think this is sort of the lineup. The office hours are not yet correct, but they will appear here. All of our office hours are going to be via Zoom, and I will be sending an email. Well, you probably are watching this video because you saw this email, but I basically send all my emails to a single thread, and so look for this thread in your email box, and once I have everyone's teaching or office hours schedule worked out, I will send that to you with the Zoom links, and so that you can visit office hours to get the help that you need through the semester. And the schedule will be posted here. I want you to learn stuff. Okay, so there's learning outcomes. Assessment's going to be similar to last year. We've got a bunch of quizzes. They're going to be about 20% of your grade. Do note this point, it's a real pain on UNM Learn to view your scores or the solutions to the quiz, but there's a way to do it, and this instructions tell you how. There's a worksheet for almost every twice a week, and that's about 78% of your grade, and then there will be a course survey at the end of the semester worth 2% of your grade. That's sort of that's the easiest way to get, go from an A- to an A or a B+ to an A- is to complete that course survey. You get 2% for nothing. All right, and I do drop the lowest 2 weeks worth of assignments. So that is, I'll drop the lowest 2 quizzes and the lowest 4 worksheets. So, you can basically miss 2 weeks and not worry about it. This also covers if you, try to turn something in and it doesn't work because UNM Learn, whatever, there's some problem. There's no late assignments. There's too many people in the class, and I don't enjoy administration that much. So there's no late assignments. If you mess up turning something in or something happens that's outside of your control, count that towards these assignments that are being dropped. Okay. Sometimes I give groups of students a small buffer, meaning I usually give the undergraduates a small boost since we're assessing graduate students and undergraduate students the same throughout the course, but I should be able to hold the graduate students to a higher standard. All right, there's some instructions here for how to submit assignments. Basically, you need to submit PDFs to UNM Learn, but RMarkdown produces HTMLs. So I want you to open the HTML in your browser and then print a PDF and then submit that PDF. I will say I do think that Google Chrome is the best browser choice. We've found on a Macintosh that Safari adds .txt to file extensions, which means that you have to change the file name if you're using Safari. Firefox, we've had reports, sometimes fails to upload PDFs to UNM Learn. So I'm not advocating for one browser over another. I'm just saying that evidence has shown that Chrome has not given anyone problems in my several years of teaching this course in this way. But choose the browser that works for you, and note that there may be issues with other browsers. I don't accept late assignments, no matter how desperately you plea for it. There are I mean, there are extreme circumstances. You know, if you give birth throughout the semester, I'm going to cut you some slack. I'm going to work with you. If you have deaths in the family, I'm going to work with you. But if there's an issue with your computer or you're just late for some other reason, that's not enough for me. All right. I do encourage you to work together. I don't have any trouble with that, but I do expect everyone to write up your own work. Okay? It doesn't work for us, me and the teaching assistants, if you and another student work on something together and you just create copies of that same thing and change your name. That's not enough. That is for the purpose of this course, that is considered plagiarism. All right, I have some statements at the bottom of this course, and so take a look at this if you need to, in terms of accommodations, especially. This will provide extra time for assignments or whatever you need. You know, we don't have any exams in this class, and you have as much time as you need for quizzes and other assignments. So most of the accommodations are already provided for in the structure of the course, but if you need something else, of course I will accommodate you. The Title IX statement, you know, anyone can be a member of my class. You know, we acknowledge everything. We acknowledge that we're using traditionally native lands for the University of New Mexico. So, and then there's a sort of a bunch of junk at the bottom. Anything under archive, you can ignore. Oh, I do have one thing near the bottom that may be useful to you. It has been useful to me. I do have RMarkdown and knitr issues. So one thing here is that if you ever sort of get an error when you're knitting and you can't figure out how to fix it, you haven't been able to get, you know, you miss the opportunities to have office hours with someone, and it's keeping you from turning in your assignment because it can't knit. You can always, within the top of a code chunk, say error equals true, and even if there's an error, it will basically ignore the error and continue compiling the rest of your document. So that's sort of one way to you know, get past errors that you have in your code for the purposes of just turning something in. Better to turn in an assignment that's 60% done, ignoring errors, than not turn something in, of course. The other thing is sometimes when I copy and paste stuff from the web, it introduces Unicode into the RMarkdown file, and this will sometimes cause the RMarkdown file to not compile, and that is a pain. So one thing you can do is within RStudio, you can do Control F to find some text in the document, and you can search for this crazy string with the brackets. Okay, this basically searches for all Unicode, and you have to select that you're looking for regular expressions, because this bracket notation is specifying a range of values from x00 up to x7f, which are all the Unicode values, and it will look for Unicode. And if you find something, and it could be something that looks like double quotes or single quotes, but it's sort of more curled than vertical. Like this is Unicode right here. I'm not sure if you can see this very well. Let me zoom way in and jump way down, and here we go. So you know how you know these fancy curly quotes that sort of go to the left and go to the right. Those are a Unicode character. In fact, I say, for example, straight quotes become curly quotes. So, you know, the quote character on your keyboard doesn't specify left or right quotes. It's just a double tick mark. But when it's curled, it's nice for reading. It's great for reading, but it's not good for code. It doesn't work for programming. And so you need to replace that with a standard double quote, where the quote symbols are just vertical lines. Okay, I'll zoom back out. And I think that's the last thing that I wanted to discuss. So if you get Unicode, you can remove it with that stuff. So that is the end of the intro video. I'm really happy to be starting a new semester. I'm really hating the isolation and the challenges that go with the COVID-19 year. And I and my teaching assistants and peer learning facilitators are here to support you through the semester, and we all want every one of you to succeed. So I'm looking forward to a good semester, and I hope you learn a lot and become more powerful than ever.